Derby County fullback Kane Wilson has been given a contract extension until the end of the 2025-26 season, with ongoing negotiations regarding a longer-term deal. Now, that contract extension was triggered as a result of John Eustace keeping Derby County in the Championship, but it looks as if Kane Wilson could be potentially heading for pastures new in just 12 months' time. Now, obviously, we do not have any official confirmation regarding the ongoing negotiations behind the scenes in regards to Kane Wilson and Derby County, but we do have a ton of rumours circulating over the course of the last 24 to 48 hours suggesting that Kane Wilson has rejected a couple of contract offers from Derby County so far this summer. Obviously, that gives him the opportunity to address his future later down the line, and it also means that if Derby County aren't competing at the top end of the Championship, he can either request a move in January or maybe even in the summer. Now, obviously, for Derby County fans, this isn't what they want to hear, but shall we get into it in a little bit more detail? Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Now, obviously, Derby County fans have fallen in love with Kane Wilson since he signed for Derby County from Bristol City 2 seasons ago, and he has been an incredible part of this Derby County team and was a huge reason why Derby County stayed in the Championship last season. Although he does have his injury problems, he does have a lot of quality, and he makes Derby County a much better side when he is available. But that doesn't mean that Derby County should pay above the odds in order to keep the fullback. Now, I believe he's 24-25 years old heading into this 25-26 campaign, which obviously means he's got a long future ahead of him and still hasn't yet hit his prime. But with a few injury issues on the side, Derby County need to err on the side of caution. And that isn't me saying Derby County shouldn't give him a contract extension. It's me saying that Derby County need to be really careful with what sort of offer they give to the young fullback. And obviously, he can play in a wide range of different positions. He's played right back, right wing, left wing. He played as a number 9 back in League One. He's also played at right wing back, right back. He's played everywhere on the field pretty much for Derby County. He's played obviously at left back as well on occasion. And for me, the versatility on Kane Wilson is one of the main reasons why you want to keep him in the building, as well as obviously his quality. Don't get me wrong, he's unbelievably talented and a very good player for Derby County, but if he's going to be expecting above the odds in terms of wages and wants to be among those highest paid at the club, if not the highest paid at the club, then we need him to be fit full season. We need Derby County to be in a much better position than what we are. And I think what the situation is with Derby County right now is we're in a rebuild process, which we've been in for the last 3 years. And a lot of people are trying to sort of judge us to the likes of Sunderland and some other clubs in the Championship who haven't spent a great deal but have ultimately become competitors. And obviously Sunderland have obviously gone up. But what those clubs haven't had to deal with is the administration case that Derby County went through just 3 years ago, where Derby County were gutted of all their top quality academy products that were like 18, 19, 20. And we're only just sort of starting to see in the fruits of those players that stayed at the club, the likes of Cruz Allen, the likes of Niall McAndrew, Dejan Brown, Lennon Wilden, those sorts of players, as they sort of edge a little bit closer to the first team. And for me, yes, Derby County aren't going to go out and spend millions and millions of pounds this summer, given the current circumstance with David Clowes in charge. But what we need to do is the players that we've got that are good in regards to Kane Wilson need to be given adequate contracts to sort of make it make sense in regards to them staying at the club. Now, I don't think that Derby County should be going and paying Kane Wilson 25, 30 grand a week. Do not get me wrong. 15, 20 maximum. But it's one of those where I think that if we want to compete in this division and want to be pushing for those top echelons of the league, we've got to bring in the right sort of players and we've got to keep the right sort of players. I think Kane Wilson is one of those right sort of players. But ultimately, if his agents have been having conversations elsewhere and he's sort of being offered 30, 40 grand a week from a top six pushing side, you can see why his head might be turned. Now, obviously, the important thing for Derby County is he is contracted for this next season. Now, as we saw with Jason Knight, that doesn't mean he'll be staying at the club. What that means is Derby County have the protection of a sell-on fee right now, where Derby County could make money off Kane. If Kane Wilson wants to leave tomorrow, Derby County can make a fee. And I think that, I'm not saying that Derby County should let Kane Wilson move on, but if he doesn't want to be here, we need to replace him. And the only way we're going to do that is by recouping a fee for him and going out and getting someone equally as good or better, maybe a little bit younger. You look at some of the players we've been linked to already this summer in that right back department. Paul Valentin, I think he looks set to join Preston North End. You've got Cody Drammer at Hull City, and then obviously you've got the more recent one in Arkell, Jude Boyd. And I think that if Kane Wilson is rejecting offers, obviously we don't know the truth behind this. We don't know what the negotiations are entailing or anything like that. We have no confirmation from the club or even from Kane Wilson in that regard. And I know that a lot of the players will be on holiday, so it's one of those where it might be a little bit of agents fiddling to try and get as much as possible. But if he is rejecting offers, then Derby County need to sort of like open the eyes and sort of go and discuss with other right backs, other wing backs, other wingers, about potentially bringing them into the club. And I do think that's what John Eustace is doing. I do think it's what Derby County are doing already in regards to those players that I mentioned a few moments ago that we're linked with. I think Derby County are looking at contingency plans. I think Derby County are obviously looking at better in their squad as well. And obviously, if that means that Kane Wilson stays for a year and then leaves on a free at the end of next year, and then Jude Boyd becomes our first choice, or Cody Drammer signs permanently, then there's nothing particularly wrong with that. What Derby County really need to do, though, is make sure that a player such as Kane Wilson isn't having their head turned to clubs with a bit more money. We need to make sure that they feel valued and as an important part of this Derby County club. And I'm not saying that Kane Wilson doesn't feel like that, and I'm not saying that the likes of John Eustace and those around the club don't make him feel important. But what I do know is that when you're sort of, it's the same in all walks of life, really. If you don't necessarily feel as if you're being treated how you deserve to be treated, or you're not getting offered what you deserve to be offered, you start to be unhappy and you start to look elsewhere. And it can be the same with any job. Like, you could know someone in your personal job who's earning, say, 5% more than you, but is less experienced than you. You're having to train them and things like that. And if you look at Kane Wilson, like, I'm not saying that Niambi's on more money than him. I'm not saying that Joe Ward's on more money than him or anything like that, because obviously we don't know the direct details of contracts. But Kane Wilson could be looking at other players in the club and going, these aren't as important as me, but they're getting paid double what I'm being paid. And that is where your problems start, and that is where these conversations then start happening across the road with other clubs. And you have these agent talks going on behind the scenes with different managers in different countries. Maybe obviously Kane Wilson could potentially move to Europe as well. You never know what's going to happen in these sort of circumstances. And that's why, for me, I think it's really important that you've got the right people around Kane Wilson and you've got the right offers being put in place. And I'm not saying that we should go above odds. I've said it a few times in this video, but I do believe that there has to be a sort of real understanding of where Derby County are heading and where Kane Wilson fits into that. Because I do think he's a wonderful player, but obviously he's had those injury issues, and we've got to sort of make sure that we've got 11 key players, in my opinion, that aren't picking up long-term knocks. Like, obviously, Kane Wilson went through, 2 or 3 injuries last year. Ryan Niambi went through 2 or 3 injuries. Joe Ward spent most of the season out. And it's really difficult to sort of judge where Derby County should be when some of their best players are missing. And that's the only sort of hold up I have with Kane Wilson, really. It is that sort of injury history that he's had since being at Derby County. But it will be interesting to see sort of how it goes heading into this upcoming campaign. I do anticipate that he will stay. Whether he signs a new contract or not, I don't know for sure, and that's going to be something which we're going to have to see later down the line. Now, obviously, you can have your say in the comments. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments, and check out the Derby County raffle. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.